I went to church till I was maybe about 19 and fell away for about 6 or 7 years. Around that time it was a particularly difficult time for my family. There was the sudden passing of my oldest brother. It caused me to not blame God, but I wasn't happy with him. And I just remember feeling inside that I'm not talking to you. I drifted away. I didn't have a desire to go to church and pretend that I was feeling okay inside. Didn't want to smile and just pretend everything was all right when internally it wasn't at that time. I was on a hill walk and I was chatting to someone at the time and telling them that I feel like I've seen both sides of the coin. I've seen what life is like when you don't go to church, and I've seen what life is like when you do go to church. And I just had, it was like a faint memory that when I was going to church that life was better. And that's all I could remember. I just remembered feeling better, that life was better when I was going to church. C7 was the first church I came back to. I walked in when everyone was worshipping in the worship section of the service, and I just remember feeling like a sense of like something familiar, like a home that I came back to. The only way I can describe it's like when you meet a friend that you haven't met for years and you remember how much you enjoy their company. I remember waking up the next morning and I could feel, it was like I could feel like a sense of someone with me, and I knew I hadn't, like it wasn't something I'd made up my mind or some kind of positive thinking, but it was like I felt a sense of God with me, and that's never changed, so from that point there's been more happiness, more contentment. Life isn't always perfect, but certainly that having a sense of God being with me. Church helps you to step out and grow. When you're surrounded by people, you're surrounded by communication all the time. So when you're in a church environment, when you're a part of a group, you're being communicated to. So it's almost like when you set an alarm or a reminder on your phone, it's like you can't forget God unless you completely choose to turn away. So certainly being a part of a group and turning up to it helps you grow in your faith, having other people around you as well that talk about things that they're going through and things that they're trying to grow in their faith. It spurs me on. This is my story because of the church.